So do you have those games that you played as a kid? Well, one of those for me is Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, we know.
Infamous Second Son, for those who aren't aware, is a PS4 game developed by Sucker Punch Studios and released in 2014, and was one of the first games I played on the system. Now, a big thing with me back in the day in games was that I like to play games with the volume off, skip every cutscene, play on easy mode, and watch YouTube videos. Like a real gamer. So I never really got the story of this game. This playthrough, I intend to change that. I intend to fully take in the plot this time. Starting off, we get this game's biggest innovation, the thing that made the PS4 worthwhile and the reason to buy it over a Wii U and an Xbox One. Realistic spray painting mechanics. Yeah, this is how the game starts, and one of the most boring parts of the game in my opinion. You can't really choose anything further than the good design and the evil design, and like, look at some of these evil designs, man. Scary, ooh. It's also where we get introduced to our delinquent with allegedly a heart of gold. Not in this playthrough. Then boom, movement tutorial with all the normal stuff. Honestly, the tutorial kind of holds your hand a lot, and it was really boring, but like, I mean, look at who was playing it back then. This is probably for the best. Now, something I entirely missed as a kid, by ignoring every single possible story beat I could, Delson's a Native American. Like, he's part of a tribe. And yeah, I just never got that impression from him when I played as a kid. Now, am I just ignorant? Yes. A truck crashes into the plot where our three favorite bioterrorists and Eugene meet for the first time, kinda. Delsin ends up touching the smoker and ends up becoming Smoke and really freaking out about it for about 2 minutes before committing to conduit rights and such.
What's happening to me? Oh God, no! Oh yeah, definitely new and improved.
Maybe this is because I was speeding through the game, but the phase transition from "Oh my god, I'm a monster" to "Bro, don't use the B word. We're conduits, man. We deserve rights," was a little jarring to say the least. Like, this world has been thoroughly propagandized into fearing conduits, yeah? So our protagonist, he didn't know he was a conduit until like 20 minutes ago. And now he's all being like, "Hey man, bro, it's pretty cool, man. It's awesome, man." And so the sudden sympathies rang a little hollow. Though my playthrough was evil, so maybe my Delsin was just being a manipulative, narcissistic douche. Actually, yeah, no, that's what was going on. So we run around, chase the Smoker guy. Smoker guy then gets got, and then we're given this very cool false choice. We can turn ourselves in or sacrifice the tribe. And both things end up the exact same way. It's just how much of a douchebag we are about it. Biting commentary about the meaninglessness of being a good person, since the only thing that really changes is how mean everyone thinks you are. This game is infamous for its common mechanics, and honestly, I can see why. They don't really change anything other than how blue or red you are when using your powers and the ending. Like, I get it, it would have taken more development time, but considering I can't skip cutscenes, and this game is very much encouraging me to play through it at least twice, then I think some alternative scenarios would have been, at the very least, appreciated. Like, okay, something I'd like to see with one of these karma-based games for once is the good choice is hard, but more rewarding in the long term, while the evil choice gives you better short-term benefits, but screws you over in the long run. You know, kind of like real karma? But from the few karma-based games I've played, it's usually just, "Oh my god, this makes you red, and this makes you blue. Oh, this is so sad." Speaking of feeling bad, sorry Grandma, I had to do it for the YouTube video, and literally no other reason. So here's the main kind of a conflict of the game. We need to get the concrete powers from that concrete bitch from earlier. And to do that, we've got to, like, shake her hand or something? We don't know. We don't even know if this is, like, a one-off thing. Who knows? But we end up recruiting our cop brother to help in doing something. And he's very, very weirdly unreactive to anything we do throughout the game. He doesn't really react to us killing and mass murdering, like, a lot of people. Like, there's one line where, oh, dude, I've had to kill hundreds of dub agents, and he doesn't really seem to mind. Like, what? Those are people too? Or do they not count because they've got conduit powers? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I know plot needs to happen, but truly, like, there's a threshold of evil before he just cuts you off can happen. You know. But then who will rescue you during the action set piece? I don't know, man. Maybe someone else or something entirely different can happen. This game feels kind of forced when you're being an evil bastard like me. Like, this level of cognitive dissonance going on between my guy and our brother, who's supposed to be like a good guy, allegedly. The plot in question basically being go to Seattle, break stuff together with dubs, and find the other two conduits in town to steal their powers, and then beat up Augustine. Oh, yeah, Augustine, she's the concrete bitch from earlier. Our villain for this adventure. She's top bitch of Dup, and we later find out she basically formed it in the aftermath of the other two games, I think. In this game, it's portrayed as sort of noble sacrifice. I did what I had to do, but, like, you're torturing random people for information. And you could pretty easily, like, despike them all instead of just kind of, you know, letting them slowly die. But you choose not to. Why? Like, I don't think she's coming back to this random Native American hut. So is she just punishing them for their disobedience? I thought you were trying to make it so it was possible for the conduits to live, so like, why you, the only government-sanctioned conduit, being such a fucking bitch? Maybe she was cranky, I don't know. I'd spike Grandma too if I didn't have my morning coffee. With this, we get our open world game structure. Go around Seattle, do like 4 kinds of missions, plus the story, and then it's over in about 8 hours. Let me talk about the gameplay for a minute. I really like the action hack and slash run and gun stuff they've got going on. Really good flow. Go into the DUP control center, bust stuff open, kill a bunch of guys, run around the city's great, flying around's pretty fun as well. Honestly, everything outside of the stupid spray can missions that take way too long for what I'm actually doing, I really enjoy the main mission types. But I can very much see why people say it gets repetitive, because it is very repetitive at times. For the main part of the playthrough, I basically just went through the story missions. I did not bother going to any of the checkpoints. I just kind of gunned my way to the end, which took about 8 hours in total. Very solid chunk of game, and even after I stopped recording, I did some random clear-up stuff for fun while watching YouTube videos on how to become an epic YouTube video game reviewer. This game feels like it only does about 5 things, and it does 4 of those things really well. Okay, look, I know I'm hopping on the spray painting mechanics, but outside of adding flavor, they are really a pace breaker. It's like 30 to 60 seconds of me going, psst, 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 psst. Why is there an abandoned option like 1 second before it finishes? Like, what? Why? Why would I do that? But swinging my funny chain around is great, which I do. I keep swinging my funny chain around until I end up going on this like murder investigation with my police brother, and we end up finding out about tragic backstory having character number 2 Neon Girl, Abigail, Fetch, whatever you want to call her. I don't know. She did drugs, and she got addicted, as you do. And now she doesn't like drug deals anymore, as you do. And then she killed them all, as you do. But when we find her, we do the handshake, we nick her powers, then we go through the whole same song and dance of unlocking our abilities one at a time again. We do this mission where we can either be good and redeem Abigail, or corrupt her and become evil. Bish bash bosh. Would smash. Did smash. Now we go to the next guy. So I'm speeding through this a bit because I was speeding through the game. I'm sure the plot pacing feels a bit better if you do more of the open world stuff, but you know, I was finding the main story missions more fun than the side content, which is kind of an indictment to an open world game if I'm being honest. Though, don't get me wrong, I still very much enjoyed myself when playing, but it did kind of all blur together a little bit. Our next goal. The gamer who was bullied until his games could come to life and protect him. He looks like a school shooter, and that was probably intentional, but fuck this guy. He offends me for some reason. Why you look at me like that? Don't you go anywhere! We'll be right back after these messages.
Do you have too much money? Well, do I have the solution for you. Molecular Ops. Send a sealed envelope in unmarked bills to this address and you'll be infected with 21 unique kinds of Molecular Ops before the next solar eclipse. Bye, 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 bye.
If you like this channel, check out my other one. It's pretty funny. Alright, back to the video. Alright, so while you were gone, I was watching this GameSpot interview about Infamous, and, you know, I can kind of see what they're talking about. Yeah, check it out.
I think it's really true of really all the games we made, is we really cherish that in the feel of in your hands, how that game feels. It's so important that we give you that sense of that the controller kind of disappears. There's a million details and a lot of work that goes into trying to make that happen.
And let me tell you, this game is fantastic to just go around and do things in. I never really got stuck with anything, except for the tutorial, the moose, ignoring that. The controller is buttery smooth, and that's not just because of all the butter I've been having.
What people do is, they decide before they even buy the game, I'm gonna play good, or I'm gonna play evil. Once you decided whether you're gonna be good or evil, we didn't give you any interesting choices. And so what we've done instead was we've said, okay, you're gonna be a hero, you're gonna be the good guy, but how good a hero can you be?
Now, I never really felt it was that difficult to get good karma versus get evil karma. Like, maybe you kill some guys, but as long as you're mostly pressing the triangle button instead of pressing square, you'll be fine. Vice versa for evil, like... Honestly, the story choices really let this thing down, since why would I want to be the bad guy instead of I want to be the bad guy this time for my YouTube channel, I want to check out their upgrades instead. The game feels great, very much the reason I played it so much as a kid. And I wonder what the next game they did looks like. Oh, really? Alright, well, I'll pick it up at some point to compare, I suppose. And now they're working on the Ghost games, which, you know, I wonder how they compare. And they did the Sly games too. From what I hear, Sucker Punch's controller-focused design philosophy has really been a big thing since the beginning, so who knows? Maybe I can feel Delsin inside this raccoon. Or maybe I can feel the raccoon inside of Delsin. Maybe we're all just raccoons. Or Delsin. Oh, yeah, the plot. We end up going on this barge with Smoker Dude. It's a trap. Holy shit, who would have thought? And we end up getting saved by Cop Brother, and Cop Brother dies. I kill Smoker because this is the evil playthrough. Why not? It doesn't change anything. He either gets on the boat and fucks off from the story, or we kill him. There's no difference mechanically. And then we go do the final boss with the Concrete Lady, Augustine. We get concrete powers in the middle of the fight, which is pretty cool. And then we get an ending cutscene saying Delsin's gonna shake a bunch of people's hands, and this was pre-COVID, and that's just kind of how people used to live, you know? Like, you used to just spit in each other's mouths. It was really weird. You kids don't know how lucky you have it. Fuck, did I not mention the Augustine thing? I think I forgot to mention... Oh, shit. Something about Augustine's character that kind of annoyed me is that she's written more like a supervillain, which... This is a comic book world, so... fair, I guess. But it's kinda trying to be realistic. Yeah, no? You know, it's not, we don't have people in spandex and tights. So this, like, she's one step away from just twirling her mustache maniacally and just laughing at us from the top of her high castle. Overall, I really like this game. Yeah, I know, I was nitpicking the story all throughout, but, you know, this wouldn't be a very interesting review if I just said it's pretty fun and dipped. Maybe people would prefer it, I don't know. It would have been easier to edit. But, if you end up finding this game, or, you know, any of the other Infamous games, pick it up, give it a play, pretty good.